Hey folks, welcome back. This is round 32 of my multiplayer series of Shadow Empire. And yeah, let's have a look what happened in the history. There's only one step, which was Cael moving around, by the looks of it. VidCon. Total of your private assets is at 41 levels, and that is higher or equal to the 41 points we promised to the Humanist Knights. That's good news. I want to keep those guys happy. They were really, that faction was really difficult to please. We discovered a new tech, sealed roads. So that's good. I'm going to need that. And we've got admin level has risen into 7. Fate stratagem pack has been awarded, and then we've got some more of these fate stratagems here. Security outpost is a nice one at the moment because we need to. I think we've got a demand or a promise to increase security, if I remember right. Okay, and then we've got a whole bunch of other little cards here. Now, let's have a quick look at... I think it's time to go through some of the Empire stuff that we need to do and then make some long-term plans. So, I'll try to keep it, as usual. I'm not going to promise that this episode is not going to be 20 minutes like it always is because, I don't know. I understand that people who watch me like the way that I present these things, so I'm not going to rush. At the same time, I'll try not to, try not to go on too much. Okay, so we've got 320 credits negative cash flow. That's a lot. Now I did upgrade. I did actually. Yeah, we're not making so much in sales tax this turn, and we're paying. I think what it is, we're going to be paying for emergency food. Look. Oh, so we're paying for food in Border Fort. I probably need to get their own farm up there, and they 64 food given to Border Fort. It's a bit crazy since they don't have that many people there. What else have we got? And we're paying a whole lot towards our troops as well and directors. I mean, I have basically increased everything just to make everyone happier, but we are paying for it. So that's just the way that it goes. Now, over the next few turns, we probably will be able to sell off some more water. We've got a brigade here, and I think that one wants to be going up this way now. So let's get these guys in group move, and we're going to just move them up. Decisions. We set the national budget. Okay, I'm not going to do this yet. I want to do my strategic decision first. Let's get Ada Richards. Sorry, well, let's get rid of Jubilee Radenfield. This capability for high intelligence. Well, just great stats all over. High technical rating. She's got inventor skills. She's going to be perfect in this job. So let's get her in there into the Economic Council. Takes some time for her to get going, but once she does, that'll be good. Okay, we've got some spies, and then we've got a resettlement proposal from Castello Republic. An envoy from Castello Republic has proposed us to accept a small group of 200 rather special refugees. They are outcast in Castello because of their subversive philosophy. This is good for meritocracy. And honestly, it's so hard to get meritocracy up that I think it's worth doing it. As always, this advisor, D. Matthews, does not like this. He doesn't like meritocracy stuff, but it's going to make everyone else happy. This is the way to go. We're going to lose a bit in government, but we haven't gone into government yet anyway. Okay, spies and stuff we'll look at in a minute. Let's have a quick talk. What I'll do is I'm just going to go about my immediate, go for my immediate goals here, which is to take this zone, Brighthorn. So let's just get all these troops up here. We're not going to need all these, by the way. We've got way too many here, I think. Okay, we've got some more recon on this rifle militia now, which is good. Let's just see what we can attack him with here, and attack him with that militia and just get some more recon. Okay, we lost more troops than I was hoping to there, but it's only militia. It doesn't really matter a whole lot. Now this is a risky attack. We're gonna lose some stuff here, but I want to push these guys back. There we go. Look, we did it. Okay, we lost a few buggies. I'm not going to cry about losing a few buggies. So move these guys in. Once we've these guys now might fall back. I don't know because the AI is different now, as you remember. And this is a grassy plain. Let's go and attack these. Okay, we didn't quite make it. We didn't have enough tanks. 10 tanks against, 1,200 rifle militias. Just not enough. I think we've got the rest of them. That's looking good. We've got some more tanks and some more light tanks coming up. I can't remember what I was doing with these. Was I trying to push them down here? I really don't need to do that. Now I believe, yeah, Cael's kept to his promise, look, of not going too far this way. I'm going to like, hang on. I don't know if he's trying to link this up. I don't mind him linking that up. I think that's reasonable. He did say he wouldn't cut me off from Vimar here, which would, that what he said. I realised that would probably be a war declaration kind of scale event, and I said, yeah, because the problem is with that, you see, is if he then kind of moves up here and takes all this, he's encircling, he's beginning to encircle this zone, and he was like, I don't really know what you mean by encircling. And I was like, well, look, this is what I mean. Like, you are getting all of this, right? And that's 50% or more of an encirclement of a zone here. So I'm not happy with that. And so he's kind of, I think we've kind of come to an agreement now, which is nice. Let me just close my tool down. Get rid of it, sorry. Okay, yeah, so we kind of come to an agreement. I think, like, he doesn't want to go to an early war, I don't think, even though, I mean, he probably should with the amount of, like, look, so let's have a quick talk about overall strategy. I can't talk very much for Empire of Man and Empire of Dick. These, I mean, Richard's kind of small at the moment. He will get bigger as he moves out in this direction. Well, there's not a huge amount to take out here, to be honest. I've got Dogger. I'm going to be able to take Dogger White. I'm going to be able to take Brighthorn here, and I'm hopefully be able to take Silver Range because I've got those guys under protection, and Vimar. So I'm going to be about this big. I've got Swenberg too. Yeah, I'm actually quite big now, and I'm going to be big. I'm probably going to be a bit as big as Cael. He made this point, by the way, when I was kind of doing the diplomacy thing, where you're sort of like discussing things with them and just kind of highlighting certain issues that the other players might not have noticed. Like, for example, Cael made a point that he was like, look, I don't think, I think you've got a better position because you've got all these ruins, and that gives you loads of relics. Now, I've not artifacts. I've not found any artifacts yet. There aren't any. these ruins are great for metal and stuff and fuel, but then they haven't found any artifacts. And he was making the case that he felt that population wasn't that important, and I was like, no. Population is the most important thing in Shadow Empire, because population gives you, now, especially now that I've learned about service tax giving you industrial points, even more so. I mean, I thought this before, but so population is the backbone of everything you do. It determines the size of the zones that you can have, and that the size of the zones determine the size of the assets that you get, which after a certain point in the game, where you start getting certain technologies like, where are we? Like metal soil filtration. So these are things where you become limited really by your population, because this is a technology where you're converting a lot of power into metal. Basically, you're using crazy amounts of energy to filter metal from the soil in the ground, and presumably like some crazy deep mining operations. You've got the similar things with things like synthetic fuel, serpentinization, all this kind of stuff. Some of these, basically, there are a bunch of technologies in the game that enable you to extract energy, to transform energy into metals and other things like fuel. But they take, its population is the big thing. You need pop. You also need power. And we are lucky because we've got volcanoes. We've got a couple of volcanoes in our territory, and those are going to be the key, at least until we get the later techs, for keeping us going. Because if I remember right, they're quite manpower. They're not particularly manpower intensive, but they give you a lot of energy, and and those can be directly translated into metal and oil, and also into fuel and all this kind of stuff. So and water if you're on a planet where you don't have water. So population is drastically important. Not only that, the higher the population you've got, the more troops you can have, which means you can take more area quickly. So he's proved this. Look, like Cael here is mostly expanding with it's probably rifle militia that he's got from the friendly confederations of all these zones. So every time you get one of these zones, you get about 8, something like 8 of these militias. And those are now allow you to rapidly expand. I mean, look how fast he's expanded. We are on turn 32. This, I would be lucky in, I know, this is kind of like what I would do in a single player game if I was playing, if I was playing on normal, which we are playing on normal. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that I think the population is the most important thing, I'd argue. And, you know, there are obviously... And he made a good argument. I said all of the things being equal, the person with the highest population is going to win the game in the end, I believe. And he said, yeah, but things aren't always equal, are they? And I said, no, but I also don't feel that things are so unbalanced here that that rule does not apply. So I have got way less population. However, he did quite correctly point out that I have basically put a Bagsy down on these. I've basically said these are mine, you know, by putting on the protection arrangement. Now, you know, he can take this before I get to it, but I don't know. Like, I think even with this massive amounts of population, he doesn't want to go to war with me. I don't see how he can really take much. Like, we both agreed that me taking Firebird Landing, or him taking, you know, I mean, Border Fort's not so important, to be honest, but even him taking Border Fort is going to be hard getting through these mountains. But I could fall back to, you know, to defending this area around High Peak. And then I can stick troops all in here and all in here, and providing they're well supplied, there's not a chance, there's no way he can defeat me here. Like, he's going to have a lot of stuff. He's going to have some really, really serious hardware, because what happens is he's got to get to High Peak, right? Got to get through this massive terrain. I'm going to be doing a fighting retreat, which means I'm going to have waves of troops. I've got enough population to have like brigade after brigade after brigade, line after line after line. And when one of them's beaten down, they retreat. The next one moves up. They, you know, and then and I might make an armored attack in some area, push him back. You know, that gives my other troops time to dig in. If he does make a really heavy breakthrough, I retreat into the mountains, which I've got roads into, so I can get supplied there. And then he's got to get me out the mountains, and so he's either bringing walkers or very, very heavy artillery or rockets or nukes, you know. And then hopefully by that time we've got some aircraft stuff going up, so you know I can spot where his units are and sort of bombard them. Yeah, this is going to be a messy war, man. It's going to be an awesome, fun, very, very dangerous, messy war. And I don't know. I just don't think that's one he can win. I'm not quick. He'll win it, he'll win a war of attrition though, and that's probably the point. You know, he will win a war of attrition because he's basically got a larger industrial base. Okay, so Cael's in a very good position. My immediate battle plans have to, my immediate strategic plans have to consider what, you know, how I'm going to deal with this. Because again, if we let this roll to the end of the game, and neither of us gets any bigger, you know, who wins? It's difficult to say. If I can find any artifacts, that is going to be some small advantage. Like he was making the case that cloning facilities are really good. I don't think I've ever used them. I think I had like one going in that Life on Seth game. So I don't know. I just don't rate them as being that important. Like, yeah, they give you 1,000 population a turn. That is a lot, but on a decent sized zone, you know, look, natural, you get 500 for, you know, for 10,000 for 100,000 population, you're getting about 500 natural growth, right? And you're going to have a bunch of these in the end. So yeah, getting cloning facilities is nice, but it's not the be all and end all of growth. Like, I think that natural growth is understated in the manual, so I think people don't think it really matters, but it does. It's big. It's quite important. You know, in the Life on Seth game, at the end of it, one of my zones, Caranon packs or something, was getting, or Caranon, I think was getting, it was 1,000 or 2,000 from national growth. It was a large amount because I had 300,000 people in it. I had 2 or 3 cities with 300,000 plus people in, and they were making, you know, somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 natural growth a turn. So that's like a cloning facility, really. So natural growth is actually a big thing, and in order to have natural growth, you need more pop, right? So the more population you've got, the more it grows. So you really want to get population down early if you can. So anyway, that's the thing. I've got to spend some time analysing this and figuring out if neither of us grow anymore, which we're going to, who is going to win. Because if it turns like, because at the moment, right, I've got an advantage on him, I believe, in my industry. From what he's been telling me, he doesn't have much metal. He's only just started getting a little bit of industry up. He's really, really relying on the The natural counter to foreign affairs expansion is military action. That's the only way you can counter this tactic he's doing, I think. You've got the only other, unless you go hard into it yourself and you get more than before he does. But if he's putting political points into foreign affairs, he's not putting political points into councils and model design, which means that I'm going to have better models, and I think that's true. I don't think that he's, at least I can't see, he's got good models up. He probably has. He's not really got a lot of. Oh look, here we go. So he's got some GR grade stuff here. Oh wow, look at those. He's put all those into one force. That's interesting. How's he done that? What is this? Is this a? Is it a battle group? I think this must be a battle group he's created. Yeah. Okay, I don't do this, so that's really interesting though. I've never really considered doing that. I know that you don't get any penalties to there's a 15% attack penalty for battle groups, but that doesn't apply if they're all GR, I believe. So I don't know why that is. I think if anything, GR stuff needs nerfing a bit rather than making more, giving any more bonuses. Firewing Scout, I like that. One thing I think is great about Cael, by the way, he doesn't make silly names for stuff. He takes these games kind of seriously. He finds it immersion breaking when people use like stupid names. So he really likes. That's part of the reason why I didn't do anything silly. He's got Gauss machine guns though, so he has got a technological advantage here, at least in the Gauss stuff. Although I'm not going to be far behind him, to be honest, with the rate that I'm going now. Okay, so anyway, yeah, he's big threat. He's my main threat now. Empire of Man is doing really well as well. This is this play here, Tribes of Man. Sorry, Hyde's doing really well. He's got a lot of space and he's not had the same border tensions that Cael and I have had. He also doesn't have the same territory. He doesn't have the same terrain. He's got some nice terrain to defend though if he needs to. So it's once you get into this, if you've got enough armor, you can probably break through because it's difficult to defend. Wasteland like that, essentially, arid terrain with very featureless stuff. Okay, so yeah, with this in mind, I've got to start coming up with a plan basically, and I need to think about how it is that I'm going to do this. My original plan was just to turtle up, get what I can, and then really focus very, very heavily on the industry side of this game, because I've got a bit of metal. I believe I've probably got enough metal with all this scrap and the metal mines that I've found so far. I've got a couple. Here's one here, look. I really should get something out here actually into that one. In fact, that's going to be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. I think that's going to be another zone, isn't it? And we're going to have to probably put it like here. 1 2 3 4 5, because if we attack, if this relationship doesn't work out, Castello Republic, this would, by the way, making friends with these was a bit of a dodgy choice. Maybe I could have attacked these guys. The problem is, if I was Cael, right, and I saw my opponent attacking a major and committing to a war, and this is probably a serious commitment war, because the AI is on normal, so it's not getting like all the bonuses that I'm used to it getting, but it'll still be kind of, I can take it, but it's just he's going to attack me basically. I would if I saw him attacking a major, committing to an attack with a major, I'd instantly attack him, because I'd be like, right, this is my opportunity now to break this kind of deadlock, because I'm not good enough, or I don't care about the mathematics min-maxing side of this game to really be able to put the time into predicting what sort of, I might do that. I might add up the amount of the zones he's got, try and predict where he's going to be in sort of 40 turns. That's possible. That's something you can do with a bit of knowledge of the game, and sit down with the calculator, try and figure out what his metal production is going to be sort of roughly. But I don't know, I think it's going to be so inaccurate that it might not even be worth doing it. And but yeah, I don't know, like this might be one option. I could just start removing our relationship and then attacking. I do think that I'll get attacked if I do that, but that might be a late game thing. That might be some, like a later game thing, like give it, a couple of dozen turns. Once I've taken everything else I can, we've got, Hyde and I have got a border. I've sort of bumping up against Richard as well, and then we'll end up with this, sort of game where now the only way to expand is to go into one of the majors. In which case, I'd rather go for one of these guys probably than attack a player early on. At least when I say rather, it'd be easier. Whether that would be a better game-winning strategy or not, I doubt. I don't know. If I wanted to win hardcore, I'd have attacked Cael at the start of this game, taken this, and then and pushed in very, played very aggressively with him. But it wouldn't have been very fun for him. And it might have gone worse. He's a good player, as you've seen. He might have beaten me. There's a fair chance that he actually would have beaten me there. And, you know, I don't want to be kind of making out that I'm this great Shadow Empire player, because, you know, multiplayer, I'm still a beginner, really, to be honest. Okay, with all that in mind, what do I need? I think what we've got to do is industrial expansion and rapid. So I need to leverage the use I've got from all this stuff, and really I've got to put enough troops down so that I'm defending myself and able to take stuff. But now I really need to rush heavily into bureaucratic points, into political points, and into you know, just standard industry, because the faster my industry goes up, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Like, if I can get, I think what I want to do next, I think my next limitation is going to be metal. So we need to get this metal mine up here. This one here. That's going to be coming from Zwenberg. I'm going to put it up there now. I might put another zone up later. But let's get this in quick. So we've got this metal mine facility. Yeah, it's cost a whole bunch of points, look. Industrial points and things. But that's fine. Going to get that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10, 12, 10, 11. Yeah, it's actually 11 hexes away. I think that will count as. I don't think it goes by the road. I think it goes by just the distance. That's quite a long way. I might have to I might have to just get another zone up just to make that. But it depends what the administrative strain like. If the administrative strain is over 10, then I'll consider doing that. There's other things that we can do as well, so let's get that one up here. We also want to start getting more industry. I think it'll probably be easier for me to get industry 1 up in one of these other towns like Reichenau, although we're actually, yeah, unrest is causing some problems here. Yeah, we're getting some nice national growth in this one. Yeah, we've got to start making these places a little bit more palatable. I think getting a barracks up here is going to be important. I know that they've already got quite a high security score, but it needs to get higher. The higher it is, then... Yeah, look, unrest diminished with 4 points due to 2,000 troops and 100 security points. Actually, do you know what? I've changed my mind. I think I'd rather balance it out. Let's see what else we can put up here. We do need to get the quality of life up in Reichenau, though. This is a problem. Entertainment might work. Education would work as well. I think we've got university now. Although that said, I've started pushing through this way now. I probably should start thinking about this. Yeah, let's just go for that. Let's save some industrial points this turn. Where are we here? This is going to be like 600 to get out, I think. Yeah, 640. I'll wait till next turn, and then I'm going to push this road through. And at this point, we're into heavy forest, and we're laughing. So once we can get up there, these guys can get up here and start pushing out this way. We can link up with Dogger White, and I can try... Look, I'm going to lose these mountains to Cael, which I'm really not happy about. But I should have... I kind of... I think I said it in the other episode, but I kind of can't keep making big demands of him, because it kind of not just from a gameplay perspective. Like, if you're playing next to a player who is just constantly making demands, like, you can't go there or I'm going to declare war. You can't do this unless you're going to declare war. I think that's probably not going to be very fun. And, you know... I think I said already that I care more about having fun in this game than I do in, like, you know, just all out winning. Like, if it was a tournament game, then yeah, I'd be like, right, you're not moving there, otherwise I want these. and I'd argue with him over it. But I'm not. It's just a friendly game, man. It's just meant to be fun. So I don't want to because we spent a couple of hours the other day just talking about this, you know, this importance of population, and it wasn't an argument, it was a discussion. It's always friendly, and, you know, me and that guy play loads of games together, so we're buddies, you know, on the internet at least. And, you know, so it was fine. But I don't want it to sort of I don't want him to feel like he's being chewed out. At the same time, part of me kind of wants to say, oh, look, I don't want you here. It's so funny, because it's like that gamer instinct in you that wants to win, that has to be balanced off with, you know, with the what's the word to put it, you know, with the respect that you have towards, you know, a gaming group, and not wanting to make them feel like the game is actually tiring and a chore, because you don't want that. You don't want people to think that oh, I don't want to play this anymore, it's kind of a chore now, because people are sort of being demanding and chewing me out on stuff, and that's not cool. Okay, economic council has got to be one of the things we really want to go into. I think military council is probably slightly more important than model design at this point. I don't want to go any lower than staff council or secret service. I think these are important. Foreign affairs is also important. Interior is not. Supreme Commander Council can stay where it is. Yeah, I think these are the big ones. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Let's get that in there. Okay, we've got the opportunity to put to to interfere with Cael's elections. So, Phoenix Legion. They've got some people who want autocracy and enforcement. Now I know from talking to Cael that he really does not like playing autocracy stuff, and you can see here, look. So let's get those guys in. The Reformist League, and Castello Republic as well. I'm just going to keep it the Citizens League here. I don't need to mess with that. I want to keep those guys friendly as possible. If I ever want to go to war with them, then I can eventually mess around with it. Okay. Yeah, I do need to. I've got to get some quality of life stuff up soon. But I also desperately need, I think I've invested the points here now. I've got to do this. These guys are ready. So, what will it be? That'll be a couple of turns for them to get out of supply range here, won't it? Yeah, I think I can probably afford to put maybe a university up here. You know, just get it up quick. Also, bureaucrat officers 2 is also really good. Let's get a university up in Reichenau there, and that will help raise its civilization score, keep people happy. Although they're actually gone quite high at the moment. I wonder why that is. Oh, we're paying them well. That's partly it. Oh, this is a high peak. Sorry, guys. Okay, yeah. Here, look, we need to raise this one now, and I want to incorporate this zone as soon as possible. Culture adaptation score is 0. Okay. Yeah, we need to. I want to adapt this culture eventually, because we can then incorporate the zone and we can start making money from it. Same with these guys. Yeah. All right. Let's make sure we've got enough population in Border Fort, because I think before we were having a few issues with workers. Where are we? Yeah, we're okay now. Now the issue is saying power. Why are we not getting? We should be automatically getting power. I don't understand why that's happening. That's a bit weird. Needed 50 energy and used 36. I thought power was automatically piped. We got a problem with. Is there a road there? Yeah, there's roads. I don't know what's going on with that. That's weird. Anyway, sorry guys. I know this episode's getting a bit long. I think this is important. I think this is an important one though. This strategic overview episode. Okay. Yeah, we're going for VidCon broadcasting. Yeah, it's kind of coming through slow. We need more bureaucratic points up. I think actually getting a bureaucratic office might even be more important. So bureaucratic office 2 in High Peak, I think. That's quite easy to bring up. I'm just check this construction report just to remind myself of what I'm building overall. Oh, we've got quite a lot of stuff going up. So, oh, we put a barracks up in Clyde as well. And a bureaucratic office 1 in Zwenberg. I've got too much stuff going up here. Maybe I need to drop back on the. Let's see what happens. Let's leave it. Let's. You might find. I mean, I think this is going to be way more than 400. Actually, yeah. I think I'd rather get some stuff up earlier rather than later. Let's just cancel that one in High Peak. By the way, this is why you should check the construction report first before you start making stuff. The metal mining facility, I think I would like up, but I don't need it up immediately. Let's put that on 25% again. Just so we're getting it. We will get it eventually, but it's kind of coming up slow. I think the bureaucratic office, in fact, I might even cancel it altogether. Let's just get the bureaucratic office up first. All right, folks, I'm going to leave the episode there anyway. So yeah, we're starting to get an idea of what we're doing. We need to. I want a massive industrial push in these zones here in Reichenau, in High Peak, Weimar. By the way, we might be able to see if we can get this one unified now. There's another card we need, isn't there? There's one between unification. Let's go for this Shadow Diplomat. We haven't got one. The other thing we can do, by the way, is we've got some of these cards here. Private Industry is a nice one. It's 40 political points. I don't think I want to play that yet. Oh, we can put these guys on field training, by the way. Put the first machine gun and infantry brigade on field training. So these guys will, you know, start slowly getting experience. I think they'll only get experience up to 24, actually. It might go a little bit higher if you've got some other troops in there. Yeah, if you've got, like, look, we've got some experienced troops in, so they will actually go a little bit higher. After a bit, they'll only go up to a certain level. Yeah. I've got 6 fate points. I like to keep those just in case I get a problem. But maybe I put a fat merchant down. That's a really good card. Levels up a casino. Yeah, we've got gladiators and security outposts as well. Security outpost is actually quite a good card. Maybe I'll put it up here because we needed to get more points for security anyway. Wenberg, have a look. Yeah, this one's not bad. Wenberg's actually doing okay. Okay, well that's good. We've got a decent security score up there now, and there'll be less chance of them rebelling. Yeah, I've got a few of these cards I can play. I don't want to play too many. I might play just one more. Maybe I'll put travelling teachers up in. Maybe I'll put it in Clyde. Okay, so they've got a school now as well. Just because you kind of want to balance out the the quality of life is sort of like I forget exactly how it's worked. It works out now, but it's kind of divided by the amount of cities you've got. So if you've got some cities that are really low score, then it will drag the other ones down. So you kind of want to get these ones up as well. Okay, so we've got a barracks going up here. I think I'm going to drop that down to 50 as well. We don't need that to go up immediately. Yeah, the rest I'm going to leave. I want bureaucratic officers 2 up ASAP. But I think I'm going to have to wait till next turn. We also need to balance this out with going this way. All right, folks, I'm going to leave it there. Take care.